Hi everyone, it's Justine here from House of Mahalo. Thanks so much for joining me. So I'm coming on to do the first part of the Edith Holden Folio journal, I guess I would call it, that I'm going to be making. So as per the intro video that I put up the other day, I'm going to be using this book cover to make it rather than a file folder, but it's got the same sort of ideas behind it with the, the envelopes and the flips and flaps and different things. So I thought we would come on and just do the sort of first section just to get me started. Okay, so for this part, I'll just show you. I'm starting on the inside rather than doing the cover first, so I'm just going to get all this part done. So I want to have this envelope flip out like so, just as a page. This won't be a pocket itself, and then we'll have things front and back and possibly there as well. So this is what I've got. So this is a large, A5 size envelope. Now I've tea dyed the front of it very lightly, not tea dyeing the back. I only dabbed the tea bag on the front. I didn't want to have the tea go the whole way through because I didn't want to make this envelope weak. So I only did it on the front. And then I've just gone round with a bit of stenciling, and I've also got some stamping in there. So there's like gold text stamping and the swirly border, because I don't want to cover every single envelope. What I would like to have is, because this piece is nice and colourful with the Edith Holden paper, I thought this would look really nice just on the plainer background as a pocket. So no time like the present, let us do the first part. So this one, I did make a lot of these pieces on video. So this one was made from some cake box packaging, and I'm just gluing it down as a pocket. Now, because this is quite a heavy, chunky piece, I'm using the beacon Fabri-Tac type stuff just to glue this on the 3 sides. So don't get that in the way. And I want a little bit of a border so we can see that nice stenciling I've done. So just hold that down. So yeah, I thought I'd best use the beacon or the Fabri-Tac because this is quite a chunky piece. It's got vellum inside, and as I said, I made it from a cake box packaging. And I do have videos for pretty much everything that you're going to see me use. I was using a lot of the scraps that I had left over from the last time I worked on Edith Holden. So yeah, there's a lot of torn papers and scrap busting and different things going on with these pieces I've made. Just making sure that the Fabri-Tac isn't seeping out because it leaves a shiny residue. So as I said in the intro video, this is very much a craft along. I've not made a folio in this way before, and we're just gonna take it a bit at a time and build it up into something that I'm happy with. Right, just got a little bit of glue, there we go. So that's that piece. So I think that should be just fine. Feels like it's on there sturdy, and I can always put these things under something heavy if I feel like it needs it. Right, put the lid on the glue. Okay, so that's going to flip out like so. Right, so then on the back here, I was thinking to have this page. Now, in hindsight, I probably should have done this part first so that I didn't have a bumpy back to it, but it's one of those things. I'm very logical thinking when I make journals, where I go step 1, step 2, step 3 in the way that I have it in my head, rather than the sensible way to make it, but that's fine. So I think that will be like so. And then I have this envelope. I don't think I did this on video. I was just sort of playing about with some collaging on it really. But this is a little pocket, and I was thinking to have this hooked on here, and then you can see the little toad looking up at the kingfisher. I thought that would be kind of fun. So let us get this glued on first. So again, because it's a little bit of a heavy piece, I am going to use this just to be sure. So this was an envelope from a card making kit, and I have reinforced the envelope flap with some Edith Holden text that goes right the way across, and then just collaged the front of it. So, whoops. As I say, I want to be able to see my little toad, or Edith Holden's toad, I should say. So let's pop him on there. Just make sure we're up to where we want to be. Lovely, lovely. So that will be like so. So the opening is here. So I think that'll be just fine. Okay. Yeah, sorry if I seem quiet. Oh, the cogs are whirring this morning. Okay, and then that's going to go on there. So, right, it's the pearls that are getting in the way. So let's see if I can undo that, pop that out of the way, and then it's a little bit flatter, isn't it? Yeah, as I said, do as I say, not as I do. So if you are going to, you know, make some kind of folio, gosh, yeah, think about what bulk you're putting where and how it's going to get in the way of you gluing things, but we'll make it work. As I say, if I put this all under something heavy, and then, you know, I can go around edges with my little noddle and things. But yeah, I just wanted to get on with it because I've been staring at this project for quite a while, and you know, trying to think about what was going to be the first step and what I was going to do next and yada yada yada. And in the end, I was just like, I'm just going to keep staring at this project if I don't get a move on. Now I have purposefully cut this book text a little bit, this book page a bit smaller than the envelope, just so that it you know, is not going to get in the way of anything folding over or flapping or what have you, and then I can just ink around the edges, so you won't even notice that it's not the same size anyway. And then, as I say, I'll have to go in with, you know, little bits of glue and stuff. So yeah, I've typically, you know, made things a little bit harder for myself, but that's a-okay. And because I did the tea dyeing on the front of the envelope, it's made the envelope a little bit bumpy, which I love because it's giving it a really crinkly sound. A little bubbly, crinkly sound. Now, because I wasn't using this envelope as a pocket or anything, I was able to just glue that page all the way down without any issues. But if you were going to make it a pocket, you would have to do things a bit differently. Okie dokie, so let's just glue that back up. Glue, tie that back up so I don't have pearls flapping all over the place. So that's going to flip out, and then we've got another flip out little pocket. You can see my toad. I might do some kind of decoration down here, I haven't quite decided. And I might do a little bit of decoration on the back of here, again, I haven't quite decided. I just wanted to, you know, get going with the pieces I was sure about, so that I could start making a start. So, as I say, that's going to be the first part of it. Okie dokie. Yeah, I think that's going to look good. I'm happy with that. So, I want to get this in, but the cover isn't ready yet for adding it. So, I need the next part, which is to sort the spine. So, this is just simply the book cover. I've removed the existing spine. I did that a long time ago. So, I'm going to replace the spine with one that I have made. So this is just, you know, the backs of scrapbook paper, or the front cover rather, you know, that sort of thing. It's just two pieces of this glued together to make a nice sturdy spine. Now if you have grey board or anything like that, then you could use that. I don't have anything like that, so I just make do with packaging, and as I say, if you glue, you know, 2 or 3 pieces together, it's then, you know, just fine. So let's go ahead and pop that in. Whoops a daisy. So again, I'm using the beacon just so that I can make sure that this is down really well. And I've cut the spine to be essentially the same height as these end papers, these brown papers, so that I didn't want the spine to be showing, you know, through the fabric or anything, because yes, I'm going to have a fabric inside as well. Got a nice gold upholstery fabric that many of you who watch my channel regularly or have been watching me a while will have seen me use time and time again. I absolutely love it. And yes, I am using it some more for this folio. So I'm just making sure that's down nice and flat. See what I mean? It just has that little bit of a lip where the spine is not going to get in the way or show or anything. Perfection. Okay, so as I say, we're going to have material down the middle, but I'm going to actually have it showing above the papers, I think. So this can come in here now, I believe. Right, first thing that I want to do is cut down the flap of this envelope a little bit, because I don't need all of this. So get rid of that. Okay. And again, I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac because I want to be sure that it's down well. So we'll come along here. And then I added some tape on the inside of this envelope flap, just to be absolutely sure that this was, you know, reinforced, and it's a good sturdy envelope in itself, but you can never be sure, especially with, you know, heavy flip outs and things. So I'm just going to stand up because I want to put this right at the edge of the brown paper, because I'd like to be able to see the this cream border all the way around. I'd like to be able to still see that. Okay. So just squeeze that glue down. I'm just going to come in with this because it's a bit bumpy. As I say, it's only where I've tea-dyed part of the envelope. It does cause wrinkling and bubbling up and different things, so just take your time with it. And all of that will be hidden by the paper that's going in the middle. Oh my gosh, here we go. There's no going back now. I have committed to the project. So I think I need to get in with a little bit more glue, but I'll do that off screen. I just need to get in with my little tip and get my head right in the camera lens. So I'll do that after. Lovely, lovely. Yeah, that feels, it's heavy. It's a heavy piece because obviously the Edith Holden pages are heavy, and you know, this is made from packaging, and you know, this is, yeah, all of it's quite heavy, but it feels just fine. But I wouldn't want to have more than that, I don't think. Okay, so that's that. Lovely. So then we have the inside panel, which I'm potentially going to be using this, maybe. I haven't fully decided yet. And then I have this piece, which, again, I just want to see how everything looks together. I may even actually leave some of that brown tape showing. I thought I was going to cover it completely, but actually I think I might want to show some of that just to break up the two panels. And then, see, originally I was going to have this down the bottom and have this be some kind of like tuck or pocket or something, but potentially thinking it might be best in the middle. The only thing that's putting me off is I don't like the bright white of this paper with the Edith Holden, because all of this is very creamy toned, and then we have the bright white. So I might see about going over this with my brush, just to see if I can try and tone down some of that white, and we'll just sort of go from there really. I did try, when I was planning the project, I did try using some like Edith Holden text or book pages on the back here, but unfortunately it did feel like it was a bit too much Edith Holden. Can you believe there's ever such a thing? But it did seem a bit too much really. I'm just using what's on the brush, so yeah, it just felt a bit too much. So then I went with this paper, which is actually Country Diary paper, because then I thought at least it's in keeping with everything, but might just break things up a little bit, you know. Oh, blimey. I have no idea what that was next door. Hopefully my husband's okay. It sounded like some kind of like shelf came down. If I don't hear movement in the next like 30 seconds, I will go and check. Okay, so that's that. I hear movement, we're fine. Oh dear. And again, I might cut it down in height. What do we think? I do like it, but I don't love it. I think that's the thing. So where's that? This is what I'm going to have down the centre here. So I actually want this to be peeping out with the frayed edge over this paper. So this is what's going to be in the spine. So I just want to sort of see how that looks. Right, let's see. Do I have anything else? Because I do have some things left. I was just seeing if it's this piece that's the problem. Oh, see, that changes it quite a bit. So I'm just going to have a little rifle around and just check if it's the paper or the ephemera. So I'll be back in a second. Okay, so I'm still happy with this as the back piece, but I do think it's the piece that I picked out here that I don't think is quite meshing. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and stick this panel down, and then I can always come back to that piece later, because I'd rather just get going with the pieces I know I'm sure about, and then, you know, anything else that I'm umming and ahhing about can just come later. You know, we don't all have to do things exactly in the order we originally planned, because that's the thing with crafting, especially with projects you've never done before and you're just kind of, you know, doing it as a craft along, is you kind of just have to sort of go with it and you know, build it up piece by piece, don't you? So again, I'm just standing up so I can get it where I want it. So I'm coming in just slightly, so I'm just making sure that I'm covering up the brown end papers, but I want some of this brown tape showing, because I do think that looks just fine. I don't want too much showing, but I do want a bit, so I'm just going to come in and smooth that down. Again, I might have to get edges with my glue tip and stuff, but that's just fine. As I say, I wanted some of this cream border showing, but I don't want any of the brown end paper showing, so I'm just going to smooth that over. There we go. I definitely am glad that I went over with the ink. I think that has helped a bit. Okay, so that's how we're looking. Yeah, so we can see that down there, quite like it. Obviously this is going to have a tag in there or something, so that's going to be something there, and then I might do a little bit of decorating. Again, yeah, I do need to get in with edges, definitely, but I can do all that after. Okay, so I'm going to leave that then. So then if we think about this side, I'm just going to bring in the pieces that I was thinking of. So again, it's the same deal with the envelope. So again, I've tea dyed the front of it, and I've done the same stenciling and stamping. So you're going to be there. I'm going to have the same paper behind it. And this is where I was unsure because I had two different things that I liked. So I'll just show you. So in the back here, I know that I was definitely having this piece. This again is the same video as that actually, with the packaging and the vellum. So that's going to be a big pocket hidden by this envelope. Now here is where I got stuck because I liked two different options. So I just want to sort of see them again. So I've got, oh, that needs a new belly band on the back of there, but I had that option. So this flips out and it's got a little removable notepad, and this is a pocket in here. I made this in the previous Edith Holden series, I do have a video, and this I made this time around. I do like it still. So that's option one. Option two is I've got this like CD envelope. I think, if memory serves, I was going to have that flip up and have like a journal card that comes out of it, and then this piece opens up like this for a little pocket. I just wanted to see it with that. I know there's going to be a journal in the middle, but still I wanted to see it all together. Now I've gone off of the CD envelope, that much I do know. I still like this piece. I actually quite like that just framed around everything, and it brings out some of the yellow that I have in. I've picked out quite a lot of yellow pieces for this project. Decisions. So it's either a pocket and a flip out, or just that. Believe it or not, I'm leaning more towards just the simplicity of that. Similar to this, where you see all of the stamping and stenciling around. Okay, so I think I've settled on having this piece on here just on its own because I like the simplicity of it. And if we remember, this is a pocket, so when we have something in there, it's going to, you know, fill out the page more anyway. So that's not necessarily what I'm putting in there, but I just was testing with that. So I'm going to have that without the CD envelope. And then this piece, this has actually inspired the front of the notebook because I absolutely love how that looks with all the stamping and stenciling around. So I actually think that I might use this on the front of the journal that's going to be in here. So, you know, that piece will still get used. So, you know, best of both really with that. And then I've chosen this piece for the back of the envelope because it brings in some of the purples. We've got some of the yellows and oranges again, and lots of the greenery. So that's what I'm going with. So we grab this piece first. So just move that out of the way. There we go. So yeah, I feel like I've made, you know, fairly good progress today, considering I'm having to make decisions as I go as well. It's definitely coming together a lot faster than I was expecting, which is always a bonus, isn't it? So I'm just gonna, I learned from the first time. Look at me learning. So I'm gonna decorate the back of the envelope first. Again, I've reinforced the envelope just with a bit of framer's tape, just to be sure. Okay, so a flap on the left hand side this time, and then I'm using the calouse, so I'm just going to position that. And then if there's any white envelope showing, that's fine, because I'm going to ink around everything anyway. I'm just trying not to squeeze too hard because the collal can come gushing out. Okay. And I'm okay with a bit of the tape showing down there. I'm positively fine with that. As I say, you know, ink around everything, so all the papers and everything will just kind of merge into each other really. Just give it a good pat down. It's just where the envelope's tea dyed, so it's just a bit bumpy. And then, as I say, anything that's not stuck down, I'll just grab with the little nozzle. Okay, that's that one. And then I suppose we will, I just want to ink around this a little bit actually. May as well get this stuck down. And then, yeah, I just pulled out this pearl trim because I was having a look at the page that's got the kingfisher on it, and I felt like it was missing something near the toad. So I was just kind of having a bit of a play around with that. And yeah, I was quite liking how that was looking. I'm not going to worry about embellishing anything today. I just want to get the pieces in and then kind of go from there really. So I'm going to glue this one down on 3 sides. Because this is shiny, I'm using the beacon. Oops. There we go. So that was looking lovely. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to put in this big pocket yet. Some kind of tag, journal card, etc. I'll probably have to go through a process of just, you know, filling all the pockets with the things that I want to use, and then any pocket that isn't filled at the end will have to be, you know, I might have to make more. That's it. Yeah, liking that. Okie dokie. So move that out the way. That's the fabric that's going to be down the middle. I was just holding that in place whilst I made decisions because I find that it helps you, you know, assess how things are going to look all together. Loving it. Okay, so let's get this one down. So again, let's use the beacon. It's probably overkill, but it just it saves me worrying about it, you know, because obviously I sell my journals, so, you know, once they leave my studio, you know, I've got a dog behind me, so I'm just making sure I'm not going to roll my chair into him. He will not be a happy bunny if I did that. So again, just like before, I'm just, you know, wanting to keep the cream border. I'm just going to move over just a tad, so I don't need that much of a border. There we go. That's it. And then same as before, I'll just grab oh goodness me, I'm all elbows now. There we go, just grab that down. Wrinkly envelope. I do enjoy folios, and one of the things that I enjoy about them is actually how they can come together really very quickly. You know, once you've made decisions about what you want to have and stuff, you know. That's not the only reason I like them. Oh gosh, don't want anyone thinking that's the only reason that I like folios. It's just one of many reasons. Okay, and then same as before with this piece, I'm just going to use the collal for here. I just figured, you know, I might as well spend today just getting the bits in that I know I'm 100% certain on. And then what I find happens is you change your mind about things, of course, from what you originally thought. But also, you know, it's a case of when it comes to fill pockets and embellishments and, you know, add all those finishing touches, it can change a project completely as well. You know, that in itself can change things. So I'm starting to get a little bit better at not expecting it to look exactly how I have in my head straight away, because at the end of the day we still have just going to move that over a bit, you know, we still have embellishments to add, and just all those little finishing details. You know, I might add a label here or a bit of trim there, or even the process of filling pockets I find can completely change how something looks. And yeah, it's something I'm starting to, you know, appreciate more and more the more journals I make, really. It's a very wrinkly envelope, isn't it? As I say, it's just where I tea dyed part of it, and I don't iron papers or anything. Probably be easier if I did, but you know. That's that. So yeah, so I might have to, like, if I, you know, put a heavy book on top of there, that'll just help flatten that out a little bit, I think. Yeah, lovely. Okay, so that's that. And then this was the piece. I just want to ink the bottom off that. I didn't take the ink the first time. There we go, just a bit more. And then this is the piece for in the back here. And this is the whole back piece there is going to be a pocket. Yeah, lovely. Right, don't need the collal. Moving to the other glue. Oh, that's a good point actually. Before I glue this down, I just want to double check how far across this is going to come, because I want this to be kind of central-ish. So I think I want it about there. So I'm going to hold that in place and then glue this on 3 sides. Again, I made this from packaging, junk mail, the usual. I do have a video. I made this the same day that I made the chocolate box piece. And it feels very good to have gotten some proper good packaging and junk in here. But you'd never know it from, you know, first glance. Okay, just gonna smooth that down. It's a bit of a chunky piece, so as I say, I probably will put a heavy book on top of all this just to completely make sure it's all down, and then anything that's not stuck I'll just go in with extra glue. That's that. Yeah, nice. So that's going to have a long something down the back. I realise it's such a big folio. I'm having to make sure that I'm on screen and whatnot, but I think you're getting the idea. As I say, it's just, you know, building it up piece by piece. Just get some more glue in there. That didn't take the glue at all, happy. Okay. I always go in after, you know, the parts that you don't see on video are all the final gluing you need to do, because you don't really have time to, you know, do all of the finicky gluing on video. But you do have to go through and make sure everything's down. All right. Okay, right, I hope you saw as much of that as I wanted you to see, because I sort of realised that the kind of middle of my camera is over here, but I think I did move my chair, because as I say, I've got a big fluffy dog behind me. Yeah, lovely. I'm really liking how it's looking. Oh, that was the thing. I wanted to show you what I meant by this piece. I don't know if this is necessarily what I'm going to do, but I was thinking just to finish that off, and then you can still see, you know, the toad and the picture and everything. I just feel like without it, this looked a little bit random. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, but I don't know if I'm going to do the pearls or something else. Right, so that's that. Looking good, very happy. So this is the fabric I want to put down the middle. Still need to decide what I'm doing there. That's the unanswered question at this point, isn't it? So I'm just trying to decide if I can go ahead and put the fabric in now so it can be drying before I come back next time. Which I don't see why I can't do that at this point, because the front cover is all just kind of decorating and stuff, so I'm going to go for it. So I'm going to use the beacon. It's like Fabri-Tac. Now I'm putting a load on. This is upholstery fabric and it's thick, so I'm not worried about the glue shining through because it just won't. If you were using a thinner fabric, you know, like a cotton or something, you would have to be very careful about how much glue you put down, because it can seep through thin fabrics. But I don't have to worry about that with this one. So I'm just going to aim for middle. I want it to be relatively symmetrical, she says. That's it. Yeah. So I'm just going to pop it down into the spine first and come in with my bone folder just to make sure it's really adhered down well. Smooth out any wrinkles. Okay, lovely. And then I can come along and get in there, whoops, and get to the grooves. And then what I like to do, if I can, I just like to, oops, I'm getting stuff everywhere. Oh dear. Oh, there we go. I just like to fold it up so that I can push the fabric right down into that groove like that. A little bit tricky with all the flip outs that I've got in there, but it's well worth doing because I do feel like it gives it a good finish. And then we can just come in and get those edges properly. So you do the same thing if you were making, you know, a normal journal out of a book cover or something. You would ideally do the same sort of thing. I love using this upholstery fabric for this kind of job because I find it, where it's quite thick and sturdy, I feel like actually it settles into grooves much easier than a thin cotton. It's hard to explain, but that's what I've noticed. I don't know if there's, you know, any kind of logic in that, science or whatever. I don't know. Okay, so as I say, just really get that in there, and then to be sure, I just like to, oops, bubble that up. Yeah, considering how quickly this has come together, I think it's going to look really good when I'm done. As I say, I still have some decisions to make, and plenty of decorating to do. But you know, I say there's plenty of decorating, not as much as oh dear, I've put too much glue on. You know, not as much as if you know, all these pieces are decorated, all the ephemera's decorated. It's really just the finishing touches. You know, those are the pieces that don't take a long time or anything, but just you know, making decisions over those things. Just going to grab, where is it? Looking in. Just got a little bit of glue there, so I'm just going to see if I can just grab that off. Can't see it, it's just I can feel it. I know it's there. So I want to get rid of that. There we go. Righty-ho, so let's just fold that up and just make sure that everything is nice and neat. Just smooth out any wrinkles or anything, but I think we're all good. Yeah. Okay, where's my scissors? And then I'm just going to come in and carefully, how should I do this? All those flips, I don't want them getting in the way. Okay, easy does it. I'm just going to come along and cut along here. And then I'll just fray that up a little bit. Okay, and then, whoops, bottom. So I hope you've I hope you've enjoyed seeing the starts of this project, or I hope it's given you some ideas or just some entertainment as you see me fumble around with flips and flaps and whatnot. But I think I will call that a video today. I made really, really good progress, much more than what I was expecting to get done. So I need to go in, like pieces like that, I need to go in with the extra glue. Still need to make a decision over what on earth is going there. I have no idea at this point. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking through complete caution to the wind. Don't add a pocket. Maybe we could have a band with the removable notepad sort of thing in there. That could be different, couldn't it? Well, not different, but just like something I've not done in a while. That's a potential. Because then it's not, because I think this is very bold over here, and I don't really want anything to be competing with that. I like the simplicity of how this is looking. So I'm imagining, what have I got? I don't have any paper. Of course I've got paper. What are you talking about? What paper have I got? Let me just pretend and grab that. So if we had like and then maybe we could do something on the front here, a bit of stenciling or something, but maybe like some kind of fussy cut or something on the notepad. That's a potential. So I have a little bit of a think about that, but I think maybe that's what I'm leaning towards. So yeah, I'll have a think about that. As I say, I want some kind of trim along there just to finish that off. I was thinking maybe putting a butterfly, not necessarily this one, but some kind of something there. Need to fill the pocket and another pocket to be filled, and then, as I say, I want to pop that under something heavy just to flatten that out a bit. And then, yeah, I've got a big pocket in the back there. And then, of course, we've got the journal we're going to have in the middle. So yeah, I think it's coming together quite nicely. As I say, I just want to get in with a bit of extra glue where needs be. But yeah, we're filling up nicely. I think that's looking very good. I can't remember how wide this spine was. What am I doing? Yeah, it's just about 1 inch spine. So it was pretty perfect for a folio, because there's still plenty of room in there for, a removable journal. So there we go. That is part 1 of this Edith Holden Folio. It is the starts of something, and I hope you will tune in for part 2, which I have no idea what will be next. Obviously I need to make a couple of decisions off screen and whatnot, but it's going to come together really quickly. I'm thinking we're only going to need 1 more video probably. Anyway, that's all from me. Thank you so much for watching. As I say, I hope you got something out of today, and I hope that you all tune in for the next part as we carry on with this beauty. Thanks so much then, and we'll speak soon. Bye bye for now.